Now, last video was pretty hard to explain, but I'm glad I got that part out. People can take it how they want, but that's what I'm trying to say. There was a reason why there was disharmony, and those white people didn't know who they was talking to or messing with or nothing like that. For them to just say what they said when they so-called kicked us off the boat says a lot about whoever taught them and how they acted like they didn't know what they were talking about. But that's all they said when we got off the boat, and that's what they said. Shit. I hear a puzzle being put together. I hear that crazy. You said niggers and you said niggers and Adam and Eve when you kicked us off the boat, and y'all didn't know really what y'all was talking about. And then niggas from ancient Kemet and Benin, in which they saw symbols in the Drikas in the Matrix, and they rewrote them as their as inscribed as inscriptions as their hieroglyphs. Extremely in depth and technology that they can't even replicate today. I'm pretty sure you can because you can do anything in the universe. You understand what I'm saying? You mean you gonna take niggas from ancient Kemet and they didn't know what you were talking about when you say Adam and Eve, nigga? The niggas that was out there teaching English in all languages, and that's what they said that they didn't understand. Like these niggas was stupid. Come on now. Come on now. I know it's hard for people to believe me when I say this shit, but you gotta really, yo, that's true. As okay, so as intellectual as these intellectual beings, you gotta realize as elephants and lions and alligators live in the same ecosystem because they are a certain type of animal. You got to realize that we live in the ecosystem too in outer space, and when it comes to human beings, our ecosystem entails with other aliens. You know what I'm saying? We're alien beings, and so is aliens in outer space. So they can be just as savvy as we can be, and they might have attributes in which we have to be savvy towards, or we have to look out for, or we got to salute, or they might be doing certain things that we don't understand or we understand, and they don't understand why we do certain things. But you got to realize that this is our ecosystem. Once we go out there, that's why it's so important that people understand how to be genuine with all living things, because one day we're going to go out there and you got to be nice and you got to be yourself. And if you're not yourself and you're not nice, then whatever, whatever, whatever you're doing out there, it's just gonna hit you back in the face. Now, if you just being genuine, you being a regular person, and one of them aliens attacked you, you can at least see from the inside, what's going on with that alien. If they feel a certain way, you can sit up there and learn. But if that dude just attacking you, then you got a right to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just don't go out slaughtering people. You still got to find out what's going on, what's wrong. Continue to be the light. You know what I'm saying? At all times. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. Where and how. Always continue to be a light. It's raining. Always be genuine. That is very important, because the day that you go out there and we embark on some aliens and you acting a fool, you know what I'm saying, or you just don't understand some aliens, or you think they evil or something like that. You don't know that you don't know that they eat people squash or something. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. It's historically been known that aliens don't even eat people; they just have sex, and if they're the same species as us, that means they just, but they're different in a way. That means they just want to evolve with us. You know what I'm saying? They can't eat people, so it is what it is. So, well, I'm not sure if all people can be eaten. You might have some different color beings that you eat them, they might turn into the being inside of you because they're like insect people or something like that. So I wouldn't eat them like straight up, nothing like that. I probably cook that now, man. You don't eat anybody at all. Just don't do it because they might be super delicious, but have some type of defense mechanism. That you eat them and they're supposed to look delicious, type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason, and it's just to get you so they can evolve inside of you, like a parasite or something. So this is trippy right now. So everybody around the world is drinking cow milk right now. So tell me, how in the world did we get on cow milk? How did we get on cow milk? Like, I used to drink milk and everything, and goat milk, and I used to love cheese. I think like 2016, I used to love cheese and the whole nine. Like, it had protein in it and stuff like that. But check me out. Look, 26 inches. I'm sitting crooked. So check me out. So how in the world? This is what I don't get about history and these illustrations of Moorish communities and African communities, in which this is also another backdrop. This is another backdrop reinforcement that these history institutions also hold in their pockets when they say African communities or Moorish communities taught these people how to be civilized. Okay, like I said before, all of these ancient cultures were all in depth in the universal knowledge of all things, and it was fruitful, and we multiplied, right? So everybody did not have to come to Timbuktu. Yes, people did come to Timbuktu to learn, because we may have been like an institution, and we learned a lot. It was a great place to learn, but the information and the knowledge was plush, and everybody around the world evidently was practicing that shit. So you did not have to always come to Timbuktu. It was probably famous like how Harvard is today or something like that. It just is what it is, and niggas was just known to know the shit. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to know from the best, you just went there. You know, fuck the rest. But that would have meant that the Moorish and the African community would not have to have taught you to be civilized or to be social at all. Because if we were all nymphos, regardless if we all had a malign basis, if we had a dark or light basis, it is the darkness within the light and the light within the darkness, so on and so forth. Regardless if we did have those bases in our carbonated life forms, the brown, the blacks, or whatever would have been first. No matter how you put it, as we released ourselves from being nymphos, elementals of nature, and would have been completely natural and grew within our geographical means as separate entity ethnic beings, ethnicical, ethnicical beings of different races based upon our geographical background. So we can be these different races. We would have all cultivated either at the same time, meaning we would have all started at the same time, or we would have all timely in the right, we would have all timely in the right setting, would have all in the right setting, would have all came to existence when the time is right. There is no way in the world, I'm gonna have to discredit some information. There is no way in the world that me, an African dude, can go to Asia, even though we was there, even though if we were there first and our genes spread first there, as Asia was becoming Asia, and they not lost, as they evolved from my skin content, as they evolved from that, their frequency would have been aligned with the geographical frequency of modern day Asia today, and they would have formed with that land, and that's including the natural greenery around it. That means that area, that natural setting would have been native and special for them and only for them. There is no way, I repeat, even though these people may evolve from black people, whatever you may say, that would have been special to them. Just as much as they look as individuals and racially separate from our beings, it is the same thing. There is no way I can go to Asia today and tell these niggas tit for tat. You know what I'm saying? We are all connected because we all come from the same light. We all come from the same universe, and we are all from the same species. But their environment is special to them because it was made especially for them, because of their design frequency. There's no way that we can go in and civilize a Europe. Oh well, I heard it was black people in Europe, a Caucasian community. There's no way. There's no possible way unless during that time we still remembered a part of ourselves and they still didn't get it and we were first, so we had to go back and teach them some shit just to skip them, skip to my loo and catch up with us and shit. But we wouldn't have been able to do this until their transformation of evolution would have been completed. So what we doing? Just waiting on the sideline until these niggas turn completely Caucasian? Hell no. These niggas lived their lives. They lived their lives and they had their nature and their natural entities and plants and animals around them, and they got to know them and they became a part of their natural settings. And they became one with their geographical means just like everybody else. They was eating from it, and nature, God was teaching them everything they needed to learn from the things they were eating and the animals that they were around that they resonated with. And then we traded information and secrets. We didn't civilize anybody. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to. We were all on the same. We were all on the same reel. You know. And furthermore, we would have been practicing our nymphonic, and we can just say nymphonic, negra. We would have all been niggers, but this is all phonetic. It's just completely phonetic. That would have been like we would have from being negras and niggers and nymphos. We would have translated from that time of being complete nymphos and colors and romantic dimensional beings to being geographical, astrological, cosmetology. Well, I'm just spitting out words now. Basically, once we would have got done being nymphos and we split it apart based upon our colors. That sounds about right. So even though we would have been niggers first, okay, so being a nigger, being a nigger wouldn't have ultimately been being a nigger wouldn't have ultimately been just being black or white, or being a nympho or fabricator wouldn't have been black or white. Seeing that this has to do with the whole entire universe, the only reason why we would have to say that we were first is actually that means all of us was first. The only reason why we would have to say that we were first before all of us were first was because of darkness before the light, and then there was light, and actually there were light. It was light and darkness before then, but actually they acted synonymously, and with them acting synonymously, there were always color. There was always existence, so there was always color and existence here. You know, so we can't even say we were first then. Just us. What? How would you say this? So for us to be human beings and the first actual being in existence. So the nymphos, everybody was different colors and stuff like that, and we, even beyond just the regular ratio that we have now, that ratio, the regular diameter of not diameter, the spectrum of different races that we have now. Um, there have been more colors of people and beings as we were nymphos more than anything. So as we turn into human beings, the geographical settings had to be actually based upon amplitude and altitude and frequencies in which the planet and the light the planets had to be made. We still would have been a multitude of colors and would have formed with the planet in those frequencies geographically. So we still would have all been different colors and different frequencies. So nobody nobody necessarily would have ever came first because there would have been like a multicolored situation. I guess it's the fact that we were called niggers and nymphos and we were phonetic. We're phonetic to it, and our DNA dates back to it. And I guess we're just no, okay, so we would still be equal, but what allows us to be those niggas is because of the darkness and going all the way back to the beginning of time. It's the darkness and the light that also resonates with our skin. So you get the darkness and the light and like a duality of skin color. But you know what I'm saying? That's really where that comes from, and then the age. But it's just but those people and those elements, um, because I was saying that everything existed and always existed at all times, which is true. But there had to be darkness before the light, you know. But the light had to be in the darkness, or there would be no darkness and stuff like that. But that's kind of skipping. That's kind of skipping above, and that's almost topping out. But it is actually true. Our DNA does predate that, and but also you got to watch what these people teach us. So I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly. So that is true, and it is based upon color. But you gotta realize how nature interprets. You gotta realize how nature interprets things. So us having dark skin and us being this defined is just nature saying um, that that it might just be us, that it is us, and we also been tested. You know, we also been tested. You know, we're the same color as outer space. Soil's brown and dark. We got light soil and stuff like that. So we do have the foundation. You know, so many ways to put it when it comes to Nubian people. You know, niggas and stuff. But um, every single last one of those people, as well as ourselves, came from nature, and we just spread apart from one another, regardless if we were first, and we're just we're nothing but a living fossil. We're just a representation of uh, we're just an artistic representation of the beginning of time. We're not only the origins, we're just a constant representation of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that it comes with benefits or anything like that. I'm just saying that it comes with a responsibility. It does not mean I'm older than you or anything like that, or I get to say I'm your ancestors. That's just a part of our history and the teachings that we forgot about. So now, so now we feel once we know this, we relearn this knowledge. We feel like we could disrespect people, but no, these people were in existence. Time and time again as nymphos. They were all there. So, just to spit it back to you, like as nymphos, all these Indian people, all these white people, all these Mexican people, they were all there with us. They were all in our colors, and there was some black people was there in their nymphonic state, and their phonic state, whatever. And they was there with us then, you know, all beings across the universe as we were nymphos and fabricators. Every single last person and being was there as we were there at that time. You know what I'm saying? If as we were one being and we were astrological original beings, big astral beings that were just made out of vapor and astra and just outer space, ghost like figures in outer space, they were probably like immensely godlike beings, and we were astra smoky nymphonic beings. um they were as we were one during that time, they were inside of us, and we were all conversating and stuff like that. So you know what I'm saying. So if we were just reborn, and the origins of human beings came from black people, it's just nature retelling the story. That's all it's doing. Even then, if we had you as children, as if we had people as children, all we're doing is retelling the story. That's all we're doing. There's multitudes of evolutionary ways to tell these stories, and there's huge stories that's been told through people's lifetimes. Seeing the movie Dinosaurs, A Bug's Life, you name it. Boys in the Hood, you name it. There's a lot of stories that's out there, millions and trillions of stories that's happened. You know what I'm saying? Just to get you out of the mindset, oh, it's just a repeat of, well, sometimes it is. It's a circle of life. It's a cycle, but there's a lot of color in the middle. You know what I'm saying? It's a DNA strand. Of course, a man and woman wants to have sex with each other. Of course, we want to have children. But damn, you know how much art we like. Look, nigga walking around with a laptop right now with a beanie, some glasses. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I was about to say I should have brushed my teeth this morning with a toothbrush. We got a lot of creativity in the middle of all of this because we want to experience life. Being alive is the greatest part of it all. You know what I'm saying? Living it is the greatest part of it all. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we want a clan and a tribe of monkey friends and shit like that, but these niggas want to play in the trees. They got a whole life to live as well. I don't know why I got off track. Oh, about cultivating and stuff like that. So somebody taught these niggas how to drink from cows. It's bullshit. Now I'm playing. So, okay. So you see a cow. I can't wait to save some cows. I done saved some. I can't wait to save all these niggas. You are a lifesaver. You use biotechnology and alchemy to save these niggas one day. Cause I went out there and these niggas, they eyes was like alien eyes. They couldn't see shit. You can tell they've been tranquilized, and it wasn't a lick of grass out there, and they had spit in their mouth. All this shit. Spit, pus in their eyes and their mouth and shit. And these niggas out here eating burgers like it ain't shit. Burgers and drinking milk. And it's been said that there's blood in that milk before they strain that shit out. So try not to listen to what I'm talking about. And I've been on them fields. And aliens led me to a farm field like Courage the Cowardly Dog ass nigga. And I'm a nigga from the hood, so I don't make up stories like this. So I'm just telling you, trust me. I don't make up stories like this. Leprechauns do not come in the hood often. So check it. So well, okay, because they got to come over here and turn around. That's dumb. They got to fix that shit. So check it. Tell me why. Tell me why ain't nothing but no. Tell me why. Tell me why when you see a cow, you do not want you you be like you'll make a joke about a burger or something. It's not funny. It's kind of funny sometimes. You you don't think about meat. You don't think about sucking from that cow's udders. You don't think about none of that. Tell me why when you see a woman's breast, you go, ooh, ooh, like you, damn, that girl got some, boy, look at them titties. What you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You like, damn, look at that girl's breast. Or, look at that fat ass booty. You know, fat ass booty. You talking about mating them breasts? You talking about sucking milk juice from her breast? You know what I'm saying? This is how far we've gotten from our natural nature because everybody, like, oh, he said sucking from breasts and stuff. I'm like, okay, if you come from nature though, girls don't even wear bras. You know what I'm saying? In nature, we don't even wear clothes. You know what I'm saying? Where have we gotten to the point that we have to maneuver, maneuver in our natural setting so much that I can't even open my mouth to be natural and say what you're afraid of me saying to you because it might take away from you getting resources of being accepted in the society that everybody's feeding over the same thing for. But if society acts in a certain way, they get punished for being too natural for doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's not a single man on the block that anybody's looking at a bunch of titties and that man's like, oh, this is bullshit, this is crazy, this is buffoonery or nothing like. No, it is completely quiet on that block, and everybody's looking at these women, even kids. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like, oh god, like yeah, I've had those before. And yeah, you fresh. Like these kids are fresh off the nipple and stuff like that. That's another reinforcement. How reinforcement to the age of consent type deal. It's like how in the world how's that child getting fresh off of the nipple there, and these kids know the difference between a big booty, fat booty, nice titties, or anything like that, and they don't deserve sexual education, or they come, or if they would have stayed in a native environment, they wouldn't they wouldn't be prone to the standards of believing that there was something wrong about a continuous, a continuous flow of, breastfeeding, everybody throughout his whole lifetime in his society and his civilization. He would have never, gotten off the breast. Whether if it was with his mom, a girlfriend that he would have got, a girl that would have got, or if his village just constantly breastfed him as long as he wanted to, and his mom just got more kids, and that's just what they did. Now that doesn't sound that doesn't sound too far off. That doesn't sound too bad because okay, well, what would this young man be looking at other than people outside having sex all the time? Okay, you have this young man. He just got off the nipple, right? He probably wouldn't have got off until he about 5 years old. He know what big booties and breasts look like. And guess what? Guess what his old man or his uncle and his teenage uh, friends is doing, or relatives is doing, and some of his homeboys is still doing. Everybody's still sucking on nipples. Everybody's still drinking milk. So where in the world does this little dude, through his pubic state, through the state in which he's grown between 5 and 7 and 8, would stop drinking milk or stop sucking on titties? Because I know when I was 10, 11, I know when I got hit up 7, 8. by my kindergarten teacher. True shit. And we all went through it. I got hit up by my kindergarten teacher, and she was looking at me little type of way. 7 to 8 years old, second grade teacher, about the same height as me. She was giving me little honky tonky. What is it? 10, 11 years old. I was running around little with a floozy across the street from me. What is it? 12, 13, 14. I can leave my penis alone in the shower. You mean to tell me we individually in our houses being nocturnal like cavemen, and we have a line of sexual behavior throughout our whole lifetimes? Sexual fantasies of shit. I had to say damn near 43% women have rape fantasies. You know, you hear this all the time, but like, oh, you ever heard of this and this? Like, oh, this and that and the other. Like, why everybody have these type of fantasies? Because y'all are sexually suppressed. Y'all are sexually depressed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are suppressed, like literally suppressed from birth to make y'all believe that it's not this type of way. You know what I'm saying? You think natives, you think natives or people in clans have rape allegations? They don't. You know what I'm saying? They absolutely don't. Just to keep it real, they do not have these type of allegations. You know what I'm saying? These people that have sexual suppression that can't get it off. You know what I'm saying? They're the one that has the problems. If it is an honor to give you children. That is an honor. You know what I'm saying? For a woman to give you children, there will be no reason for you to apprehend a woman. You know what I'm saying? At all. She'll be like, "Oh, you don't have any children? Well, we got to get you some kids. Like, let's go." Like, it's not even like that. But they know how much of an honor it is to have a child, not only within them, but for you to have one, and for you not to be left out of having children. That's just the honor that is held in all life. That is the best part of life, is recreating, is recreation, it is evolution through the angel of your sperm, through in I don't know what word. So it's angel and the sperm and eggs, and I know it's through the recreation of my womb, right? So that light can be admitted, so that life can be admitted inside of me, straight up, and that's the real. So check it. So you put all that together. Why in the world would this young boy or young girl, even because she drinks milk too, stop drinking milk from a woman's breast at any given time? So why would you at all at any time stop drinking your mother's milk? Your mother's milk or their milk or anything like that, and then transfer over, just like we see in Disney movies or something like that, to goat milk. And then your natural diet as you grow up to these ages is cereal. Is cereal and creamy, cheesy substances. You know what I'm saying? Because you always have a hunger for this milky, lactated protein that you're always eating and drinking from. So if that's true, and we out here eating grilled cheese sandwiches from milky cows and shit like that, that means your ass is supposed to be eating and drinking milk, constantly eating and drinking breast milk. If you have these thirsts for dairy products, it's not supposed to be from cows or goats or anything. Put it all together. Feel what I'm saying. Real talk. So how it must be absolutely true. It's crazy. And just to think about what's going on, just to think about, just to keep it real and think about what's going on right now, or has been going on. You had ADHD, and think about breast milk. When you talking about this, I know this is crazy, but you had ADHD, and breast milk is completely embryonic. It stimulates your nervous system, and it's an intellectual intellectual well I'm not well it's an intellectual I don't want to say intellectual. It's just it's embryonic. That's all I needed to say. It's embryonic. It has protein in it for your brain and your body, natural protein. It hydrates you. It hydrates you. It has uh, water and the liquid and the life force that made you in that milk. So hydrating you. So being hydrated from this milk would be absolutely nothing. You talking about electrolytes? You talking about natural electrolytes, protein, and and um and what is it? Electrolytes, protein. This means it has to have, if not omega 3s in breast milk, something in the higher content that elevates your mind even more because breast milk has to be a natural psychedelic that elevates your mind, not psychedelic. Niggas always talking about drugs and shit, you know, because we always trying to get away from reality and shit. Yeah, they was driving slow. I didn't realize. Yeah, that shit weird. But yeah, you gotta really look at this shit, man. Like this is breast milk. These are the building blocks that made you inside of her, that you came out of, and that you came out from, and now it is to feed you, to grow you with. Why is you drinking cow milk? Why are you drinking cow milk? Eating, eating, uh, uh, man, eating, I don't know. Now I want to say man-made cheese or man-made dairy products, but concocted. There you go, concocted laboratory foods and stuff. And every single time we look around, ain't nothing but booty and titties, and we can't stop looking at these booties and titties. And you want to hit and make kids and stuff, but you can't afford it. You know, this is the type of stuff that you people need to be talking about. Like I'm gonna even try. It's like this is the type of stuff that really courts in the system can't get away from. But you look around and it's like, do you think these niggas gonna stop anytime soon? It's like no. So this is what I'm talking about being savvy. You know what I'm saying? Because you see breasts like, damn, girl got some titties and shit like that. You even see little kids be like, oh, look at your boobs. I got boobs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like what like you gotta actually hear the background subconscious frequency in which they're saying this information on. They're like, oh, I got boobs. It's like, what you mean by boobs? What you know about boobs? What you thinking about boobs? Okay, first of all, I sucked on them motherfuckers that came when I came out. Second, I know the motherfuckers is for me, you know, and they're the reason why they're even here is because of my ass. Third, I'm thirsty now, you know what I'm saying? These kids, they just don't want to get whoopings. You know what I'm saying? You're putting fear in them, and then they're being programmed by television, and then they're being programmed by schools and stuff. None of them have the the right of way of just acting naturally, because everybody around is like, we gonna fuck you up. You say anything natural, my nigga, and then you have these then you got these toxic and dysfunctional and odd relationships that people want to call, you know, offsetting and odd and stuff like that. You know, be a prostitute and a politician, or you know, broken down guy with a manipulated girlfriend and stuff like that. They're just trying to realign and reharmonize themselves because they just always wanted to act natural, and some of them had no other choice but to be natural. And then they just found people that just wanted to be natural, like nigga that got money and power. All that really means is this nigga have freedom. This politician got money and power and freedom. Ain't nobody for the fuck with this nigga. This nigga got backing. He can have many kids as you want. This woman, the prostitution, all shit. Oh, I just need resources. Bitches just pay me. Fuck, you know, fuck you, pay me, nigga. That's it, nigga. I just need resources, and I want to fuck all the time, every day, on the hour, every hour on the hour. You know what I'm saying? I want as many kids as you can possibly give me. You know, the kids may not have came yet, but they found each other and they gonna have a family eventually. That is the attraction, the magnetic attraction that actually happened, and that happened naturally. Those are facts, yo. Straight up facts. People are dysfunctional. They just didn't accept the system. You know, they just didn't accept it. They did not accept it at all. And they found somebody that was just as dysfunctional. Like, man, those people are fucked. And then you see them like, man, they're living. They're not even here right now. They're more than in love. They're alive. You know what I'm saying? About to go home and eat some fucking cheeses and shit. You know, real cheese. You know, fucking breast milk. You nigga, you eating fake cheese. So you know, like I used to love spicy cheeses. You know what I'm saying? You gotta realize like that milk grows you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta realize the our native background that we come from too. I mean, ain't nobody wearing no bras and titties is just out, and you talking about you lactating and it's just spreading on the ground. No, we putting that in the cup, and I'm drinking that on the way to the walk. I mean, as we're walking. You know what I'm saying? Dad and the baby drinking it. We're gonna cook this on some something. You know what I'm saying? This came out of you. It's for us, obviously. You know, it's milk, and we see the turtles and the animals doing it. This is what we do to our people. We don't drink their shit. We don't. They don't drink ours. You know what I'm saying? You don't see a monkey going, ooh, nah, I want monkey titties. You know what I'm saying? This is real talk. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. It's just real talk. Savviness and self-discipline. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, so um, I just saw the bird box. Oh, hold on. Okay, what the fuck? So I just saw the bird box. Man, what the fuck? Okay, as you're constantly and continuously being savvy, I want to let you know that it is extremely important to keep your agriculture, your culture, and your language intact with your people, because this is a huge advantage in being savvy in a world like this. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to try to calculate people's movements. It's another goddamn thing to try to do that against a design or culture or race of people that you are unfamiliar with, nigga. Like you are unable to beat out genes directly every single time because your design and your energy and your frequency is like left on it, on left on the last bit of information that you left behind. You know what I'm saying? That you tried to destroy other cultures with and shit like that. Like people seen you do it before, so they already know what you about. And everybody's so in depthly different and culturally sound with who they are. And we've all evolved from, tyrannical and genetic instances just to get to this point today. There's no possible way that you can constantly use the same tactics and be the same being that we dealt with years and centuries ago and still be able to do what you do and be successful at it. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, everybody's not for it's we are so different as races and ethnicities. There's no possible way that we can even see the same type of enemy or the same type of hero, you know, um, two times once, two times out of a two times in the same existence. You know what I'm saying? It's every culture is so soundly different in their own dimensionalized selves, and they're so in their ethnicity that there's no possible way that you can figure them out through your entity. You know what I'm saying? They'll let you in if they love you, if they've taken a liking to you. But if they're on but if they're on like the offensive and they don't want you to know of their realm, you're not allowed in there, and you can't just continue to be a certain person and be disrespectful and fucking infiltrating if you like, how you gonna fucking infiltrate in Arabia if your ass fucking like not Arabian and you don't know shit about their culture? You gonna run in there and be like, good afternoon, shit like this nigga's a fucking cop. He's a fucking cop. We put this quickie mark here for a reason. It's a fucking cop. Don't nobody fucking go here. Bitch, my mother sell hotcakes and shit. Like he gonna go off. Like, it's a fucking trap. This is a fucking trap, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about the culture. Like, this is how designs in our agriculture, nature protects us in itself. You can't go to fucking the Congo, and just be straight. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to fucking, you can't go to the Americas and actually beat the Indians like they did, like they said they did. You know what I'm saying? Niggas would have had problems. You know what I'm saying? You can't go back and forth from Africa across the ocean like that and not have difficulties at all, nigga. The fuck? Bitch, we know what we doing out here. Okay, so I just saw the Bird Box and what was I saying about the Bird Box? Um fuck. Damn. I was saying something about the Bird Box. So I just saw the Bird Box and man. So I just saw the Bird Box and it just man, I was gonna say something else, but I just saw the Bird Box and I really don't want to say that part, but it really entails on how suppressing our tech technological advances could hinder us in the future. Like, the only thing they really spitting out us to us is like cars and iPhones, and we really need to be one with nature and our technology, and that's all they're giving us. And we like giving them the right to just create whatever they want to create and just distribute it out to us and shit like that, and like hypnotize us to believe that we gotta wait on the next update. That's not what I wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna have to skip that part, you know, because that's not what I wanted to say. It's something about Bird Box though. Um, um, I know another thing. The Bird Box is kind of like what those aliens did to me, but the reason why a lot of it didn't work, like I've seen aliens actually do certain things to other people and make them like cry and we see their family instances, you know, just in case if they were doing something bad, but they also broke you down. These aliens also broke you down to face your fears and face your past flashbacks and memories to make you stronger and make you better understand it. Like, if you had like a past relative or you were traumatized as a child or something like that, that made you understand why this happened and what the origins of why this would have been and what your evolutionary being had to go through to understand it. And, then you understand it and you relearned it and you understood. But it was a tough ride. You know what I'm saying? It was really tough to watch too. And go through, of course. Oh, of course that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they taught me everything about sex and I didn't want to go into it. That's what keep backing me. People, whether people don't want to believe it or not, like, nigga, I didn't want to believe in that whole age of consent stuff. Cause I was like, oh no, you're not gonna get me on that, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't wanna believe that people dying was an honor or nothing like that. I didn't understand it, but it's like when you feel like you only got one life to live and you only have a certain amount of creativity at this one point in time, and you can only have one family and stuff like that. It's like you cut your whole all your decisions in a formulated action to only do and be and and uh and to be able to do like only one thing. No, to live one lifestyle, and that's like a standard one family household, with a certain kind of job, and you know, you don't once you have a family and shit like that, your ass don't even go to the fucking grocery store no more because you can't look at no girls. You know what I'm saying? You like your whole demeanor changed, and you don't even realize that you fight your nature. I was mentally blocked, and they just helped me, unblock myself. I wish they put out more movies like that instead of Bird Box. But, the shit was still scary. That's not what I wanted to say, but I was wondering if women still got morning sickness in nature than like the jungle. Oh, that was on Bird Box too. Like she got morning sickness. Well, women just get morning sickness anyways. But I was wondering, like learning about all this natural stuff and shit. I was wondering, like, if they ate everything they needed to eat and they were just completely good and they were living out of nature like they were supposed to, and they wasn't eating all this bad food. Like, what is the reason for throwing up? Would it be possible? Because I never heard about anybody in nature in like a native space or any time back in the days actually throwing up because of morning sickness. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's an interesting thought because I'm like, if you got pregnant, it was a celebration. Motherfuckers wasn't throwing up. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reinforcement if you ain't supposed to be eating the stuff you're supposed to be eating, and the baby come up and like, not today, nigga. I'm not growing up in that bullshit. You better go to another Burger King. I don't know. You better leave Burger King alone. There you go. You know what I'm saying? I want fresh fruits and vegetables. Like, would you throw up because of that? I heard yeah, like they don't even throw up for certain things, and then they be eating ice cream and stuff. Like, oh, the baby like ice cream. Well, you ain't supposed to be eating dairy products, and breast milk grows the baby, and you're gonna be drinking breast milk when you got out, and it likes dairy products, and like you might just be supposed to be drinking breast milk. Debunk. Kind of crazy. You never know. Don't want to stop there, but they can have cravings. They have cravings. You want protein, dairy products. They got yogurt all the time. Like, I ate this one. Put two and two together. I'm just trying to grow, bitch. I mean, fuck. I shouldn't say that. Just put two and two together and like I'm just trying to grow. You know what I'm saying? Because nice people might watch. Heard somebody in my head say, "Why are you apologizing?" Like, cause nice. This is good information for all people. I gotta cut that down sometimes. Never know. One day somebody might watch it and they turn it off because I say a bad word. You know what I'm saying? All these bad words have origins too. Do you not realize I met these aliens and I moved in a certain function and moved in a certain way, and I realized that I was actually just because I said just because I moved a certain way, I was actually saying like certain curse words and shit. It was crazy. Like when you get on all fours, that's a bitch. When you get on all fours, that's what you call a bitch. And when you call that a bitch, it's crazy because that's what you call a bench. Like like that. When it's all flat like that, you call that a bench in which you can sit on. And then a person that's on all fours, you call a bitch. It's crazy. And when you put your head down, your ass is up, you say, fuck me. I'm not saying that happened to me. I'm just saying it happened to me, but ain't nobody fuck me though. I'm just being honest and transparent. I'm just saying that I had to I had to learn all the information and why they said it and so on and so forth. The Egyptians practiced it and so on and so forth. So I'm just letting you know, just being transparent. Ain't nobody touch me though. Feel me? Oh, before I continue on with this one, I'm gonna have to skip that last one for a 50. But this one basically tells about like I was talking about necromancy and stuff like that, and all these things are just a frequency from the sorcery and how um, um, the light, how you make alchemy, and you summon things it's just from jinn Jinn is just the fire, the soul power of the universe, and it's just a standstill. It's just like when you flick the lights on and off. You know, that's how they used to work in sorcery back in the day. Um, they just had frequencies and the harmonics of being one with the universe because their natural being was in line because of the diet and their sex and the sexual nature and stuff like that. They were just in tune with nature that they could just speak things uh, that they already had embedded in nature, and they sciences that they concocted up and they put it in a book and they could just speak it out because they were so harmonious and one with the universe, right? So, um, what I was about to rap to you was just so you got hieroglyphs and different um, imageries on in like old ancient architecture in the Aztec temples and underwater temples and all across the world, right? So if this is true and everything is in harmony and we are electronic and everything's and your diet's important so you can be a tuned and instrument because you were made by the harmonics of the universe. So this is why we sing, rap, play, and all that stuff like that because the energy, because we're in tune with the universe, so on and so forth. Even as you dance, is a spoken. You can even dance and open up doors and stuff like that, portals and vortexes, and even like hydroglyph doors. Jamaicans, the way they dance is, is reminiscent, not reminiscent. I guess the word is synonymous to that dancer fighter from Tekken, like Eddie and stuff. That's what you would call Masonic. That is just a man that is sonically layered in his artistic being, and he formulates this into being one. So him b-boying and being Jamaican and stuff like that, and his whole heart and his art and his drum and his fighting style um, as one is the science of the universe. He can teach people through dance, storytell through dance. He could talk through dance. He can beat people up through dance. However you want it. That's like a perfect example of being Masonic. And basically these hieroglyphs and uh, these artifacts on these walls and stuff like that, on these temple walls. These things and you got to understand how ancient Kemet was made, was through acoustics and around the world and even underwater and throughout outer space. All these things were made by the harmony of the universes, and our ancient brothers and sisters made these things through the harmony of acoustics, right? So if that's all true, that means that all these things can be opened up through a password. Password. They call it talismans. They call it talismans. Talented um, but not that's not what it means. Talismans mean natures with talent on them. So you see something with an inscription on it, like this box right here. This energy box says 743386. And they were so intelligent that you said that shit and you knew what it meant. And you were so harmonious with either that nature or you were from that geographical mean, that design or that nature could hear that design in your body and your entity. And since you were in line with the place that you are from, like they would be like an Aztec, only an Aztec can open this door, or the descendants of the Aztecs can open this door, and they can only understand your frequency. This is all correlated in the line. That means it's absolutely true. They will be the only people that can open up these doors. Now, that means only a real Egyptian that can read the real inscriptions of the hieroglyphs are the only people that can open up the doors of which, why, and how those pyramids were operated. Of course, we can figure it out, but can you turn that bitch on? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Ancient Kemet, they was extremely advanced and knowledgeable of the sciences of chemistry. That means they knew what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? You can say it's a bird all day, but can you make that bitch fly? I don't think so. They're like, oh, we don't know what it does. Yeah, motherfucker, ass don't believe on that. You know, your frequency once you could have been so aligned. This knowledge could have been so aligned, and it's not. You don't even have to put it past people, but it was so aligned with um, the universe that that is close to like you walking in like a jungle setting, and a roly poly will roll up, or a turtle will hide from you if he sense like a bad nature from you, or a cat will climb up the tree if it's feeling a certain way, or a flower will close up because your energy was so strong and so sporadic that it seemed aggressive, so it moved out the way because it didn't want to be hurt or threatened by you. You know what I'm saying? So it's very possible that the pyramids. I mean, I ain't gonna go like that and let my imagination go wild. Like the pyramids or something else, and then these armies that attacked our people, just it hit our people, and it turned a different shape or something, and you know, it turned the same, and then it correlated with the stars and symmetry of our golden ratio. Possibly that's pretty cool, but you know, there's no sign of that other than what they were capable of doing. So it's possible, but I'm just saying, they would have been so advanced in their sciences that the frequency that you would have gave off, if you were dangerous, would have closed every door to every secret that we would have had and departicularized it and went wherever we would have wanted it to go, without you having any clue where we would have sent it off at, you know, and we would have been talking to whoever we wanted to talk to throughout the whole cosmos. Now, check it. Um, that's another story, though. I mean, that's another story. Those are other facts. Appreciate you for listening. I want to say this before I get into what I just found out inside, which I started at the beginning of the video. So that has to do with golden ratio. So along with breast milk, sperm has protein in it, and I don't know if I mentioned this before. Everything is symmetrical. So this is really this is really upsetting to people. But once again, I have to be truthfully honest. I let people know to be unblocked from their mental statuses again. You know, sperm is like the color. That's the color of life, right? And that's what emits light, right? And being gay is happy, and let's be honest. Let's be honest now, man. Let's be honest means expansion of all color and of the universe as well. So if everything's symmetrical and we all drink from breast milk and we all have mouths, and scientifically sperm is protein and uh, also a psychedelic and nutritious as well as breast milk is, and also a life force just as much as breast milk is. And our pee is supposed to be so sterile and so filtered that we're supposed to be able to drink it like vegetative milk, and it's supposed to go on the ground, and we're supposed to be eating from our pee and uh, fecal matter from what we poop out and whatnot from the seeds that grow from it. But that also means women, not only women but men, drink sperm. Real talk. It is what it is. Now you are still going to be like a magnet. I know I said what I said before. Not only this, but what I said before. But you're still going to be like a magnet, and you're going to be completely and ultimately attracted to the woman. So you're probably going to want to drink her sperm or her cum, which I also was taught. Um, as I was being trained, people make a joke out of that, I'm sure. But as I was being trained, we also you drink from the woman, not only breast milk but her cum. But just to be completely symmetrical, lesbians, let's be honest, they do that as well. And some women do that to lesbians, some men do that to men. And to be completely symmetrical, we are vice versa sometimes, but we're completely symmetrical with our sexual counterparts, our opposite sex partners, and we're more attracted to them. Anyway, so I just wanted to be clear on that and just keep it real. And that's another reason why we're blocked, mentally blocked, because if you knew better, you'd do better. So I'm just being completely transparent, make sure people get that. And that's another reason why we know we have, they are trying to, they're using our psychological and natural, biological nature against us because along with our natural sciences of sexuality, because we don't really know the truth, and then they use the truth that we don't know against us. And as you can see, we're fighting because we don't know much about being gay or lesbian or sexual education and stuff like that. Still coming out with movies with kids and going to prom and you know bad, horrible, corny movies on like guys versus girls in high school and type shit and whatever. But I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? In the jungle, we would have had big ass parties. Niggas would have been butt naked, half butt naked, or however you want to put it, and it would have been fucking on the dance floor. And we wouldn't. It was not even. It would have been Zion in that bitch. It's not that we didn't care. It's just nigga, we was alive. We ain't even thinking about who cared, nigga. We free and we having a blast. I'm pretty sure that happened for that ass. Once upon a time too, you know. So, so even as I keep going back and forth. So even as use these words and these dances or whatever and these talismans to open up these architectures and stuff like that and whatever. I mean, nah, I ain't gonna go there. So let me see. Okay, I said that. Yeah, I said that too. Yeah. Also, if you're drinking breast milk or drinking sperm or eating cum, I think people notice that you're getting more fertile or you're getting more sexually active. Which that would what is it? That would promote that. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. If you grow up drinking titty milk or drinking semen or however you want to say it, no matter how people want to discriminate against you, I would like to see people try to institutionalize somebody's child's brain on, I don't know, STDs or not having sex at a certain time or something like that, and they still drinking breast milk, and they're like, oh, you can get STDs from breast milk. I drink titty milk all the time. We drink cow milk, and you know what I'm saying? Like, boobs are natural, or you know what I'm saying? Why would I have to be educated on that? I came out of the womb and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we have to be afraid about talking about this? Because it's scary, or you gotta make sure to stay away from strangers, sexually sexually suppressed strangers. I'm like, oh, it's wrong to harm people for sex, but not even justifying this is why you should. I'm saying that you shouldn't, but what's also natural is for people not to even want to pay or even work for sex because it's so natural and it's so instinctual to our beings. Motherfuckers be out here with nothing and everything and still be fiending after them things. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really natural that we don't even run into, run into money when we see a fat ass. You're like, and then she looks at you like, what you got? I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Or you got a certain kind of confidence and, you know what I'm saying? You're like, a dick, nigga. Like, you want kids? Like, every kid you got or what you want. You know what I'm saying? A house over there or whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? It's so natural. And you don't understand her alluring towards you. She wants you to gravitate and elevate more so you can have more children with her because that's what she's looking for now. If she ain't tripping, then she gonna hop over your way. You know what I'm saying? Because really, she's just telling you to do that because she's like, I really want kids. Just go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta understand these girls know what they're doing, but also they being used against us because they telling us to go do these things, and it's straight circle back down here. You got all these buildings and shit, nigga. There's a big ass fence around this natural setting that they just knocked down just to build some more real estate. But this shit ain't getting nobody more money, more kids, no nothing. They ain't doing nobody nothing, no good and shit. Empty parking garages has been here for 13 years. You know what I'm saying? Who works here? Nobody. Nobody's been here for years. You know what I'm saying? Brand new ass buildings and shit. Niggas just have anonymous jobs out here and shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't helping nobody, but everybody just want to have kids and have sex. This is where the savviness needs to come in. You know what I'm saying? This is where this is the reason why super tatted niggas and people that are extremely artistic and don't give a fuck and just lay low key, fun loving people just have as many kids as possible. They're like, you know what? Fuck you. You know, I'm gonna have 13 billion kids and I don't give a shit. Come on, man. There's some niggas that be driving slow. You know, I this is this is how I know I'm tripping from where I'm from because these niggas wouldn't harm a fly. But nigga, I'm in the wrong neighborhood or whatever, man. Oh, that shit like the back of my hand, nigga. You gotta ease around this box, nigga. This nigga driving too slow. But it's such a great neighborhood. Like, I'm in La Jolla. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just be watching because I'm so used to it and shit. That's why I still got room to grow. But for some odd reason, I'm not feeling this cold. Not feeling this cold at all. Oh, I remember before I go, I got to say this. As I talked about, so that would also align with that that necromongery and shit like that, and summoning beings is just um just be able to reread like designs that were made by these alchemists and shit like that. That's all it really is. It's just made up designs by the frequencies of nature. I mean, not by the frequencies. It abide by the nature's frequencies that these scientists made up. That's how they can just summon things. It's just artistic things to say. But it's not super evil or nothing like that. Of course, they can be super evil if they design their ass that way. Of course. I don't fuck with them niggas. And then, you know what I'm saying? You heard shit, just don't fuck with them niggas. Bird box type shit. But that's not what I was gonna say. So it's trippy because I looked into alchemy, right? And you know the truth, you straight. But I'm saying, not saying that it can't harm you. You still gotta respect nature, dog, and always. But but you still know the truth. But oh, that's what I was gonna say is that as in Bird Box, not saying that things can't harm me. Things that are aliens and stuff like that, or beings that do those type of things. They go after your worst fears, so on and so forth, and they make you kill yourself or crazy. The aliens did that to me, and they made me like prosecute myself like billions times over. And they were so damn good at it. They would like try. They would like think. They would like try to even think your way out of this, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing that was really keeping me sane, other than them taking upon my thoughts and making me think certain things and so on and so forth, was that my knowledge of spirituality in myself. They can only use past images and past dreams and past thoughts, um, past visions that I had, or if I didn't already say that, against me. You know what I'm saying? So if I did not had already weeded all that information out and made myself better and aligned myself with my spirituality and became moral and ethnically correct, you know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't be here today because they sent like a rapture upon me and they sent me to like different portals and different things that only I could only be attacked by certain beings and different demonics and stuff like that. And if I never set myself straight in the spirit, they probably would have teared me apart telekinetically just by communicating, and I probably would have got handled up by whatever beings I would have came in contact with if I had some sin on me. Luckily, I have myself intact. So I guess that was part of Bird Box, but they weren't that merciful. And I'm not sure how deep them. I'm pretty sure those aliens weren't playing that type of game where they were just trying to uplift you. I think they were just trying to slaughter you. You know what I'm saying? Because all them people didn't seem like bad people. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of natural things, even natural things that I was doing that I was not doing correctly, that was putting me in the wrong is constant dissension. Just like I see a female that I want to hit, and I don't hit it, I'm in dissension. I'm losing out on a child, but I'm just trying to be a righteous person and continue to get my stuff straight because I want my kids to have, all that they ever wanted, you know, in a life that's supposed to be true. So I want better for this world. I want better in this world before I have anybody, but I'm also losing out on lifetimes and children with all these women. And also I can't live an ultimate life. I mean, I can live my ultimate life, but I can't live the life that I want to live, and I want to live my life with all these women, and I want to be cool with everybody. I can't do it in a society that's tripping on fake news. You know, so what was I gonna say? I'm saying why really have one if we honestly want to be with a lot of them. We all want to be family. We really want to be free. Let's try some shit. Let's really shoot for it. Um. Okay, I said that. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to say. Okay, so here it is right here. Here's a gym. This is the gym right here. So I'm inside, like I said at the beginning of my video, about the negative and positives of Adam and Eve, right? Which is completely scientific. This is scientific evidence and exposure to me actually still telling the truth right here. Adam and Eve, negative and positive, right? Okay, if you have Adam and Eve, negative and positive, and you look at our anatomy, which is our anatomy to uh, scientific mathematics, scientific arithmetic is just the um, rhythmatic, the rhythm that's romantic with the sciences that we can calculate and use to prove what we're talking about. All right, you look at my penis and you look at my rod. It's a triangle. It's not necessarily a triangle. The balls separate and then the rod goes down. So you draw lines. You're gonna get a triangle with the urethra, the vagina. You'll get another triangle, right? Okay, you get an upside down one and you get an upper one, right? So check it. So with these triangles, you're gonna get three points at the top and 3 points at the bottom, right? Okay, you add these up, you're gonna get six. first of all, six, they try to use 666 in the Satanism thing. That's where you're gonna get that understanding. You get the 3 6s, and then you get 3 6s. No, you can get the 1 6, and then there's 3 3 3 because it's a dimensionalized thing. And I'll explain this. So when you add this up, and it's a triangle, you gotta understand that my penis is an you gotta understand the the expressions, the expression that Adam and Eve gives, and what we actually do together. We actually elevate each other. So you're looking at a 2D, 3D. I can't really. I can, but it's hard for me because I still don't fully understand the 2D, 3D thing. Just understand that in this dimension, our duty is always to elevate and by amplitude and altitude and continue to evolve, right? So, okay, if that's straight and that's understandable, and that's all about the 666. And in Satanism, it just means understanding. And 666 also means the golden ratio, and it's just the curls in your hair. Check it. So, and also above is below. Check this out, then. If you get the threes, above is below, right? If you check the threes, right? And the Satanism is the 666 mean that you're going backwards and you actually understand. That means the darkness. That would mean that you will understand. That means the 6 is going down, right? But it's only this is where that language back in our ancient ancestralhood comes from, where we say in words and numbers, and they're really they're really symbolic to a huger understanding, and it's actually a frequency to an art aspect in which we all into an art aspect in which we understand scientifically, right? So check this. So the 666 is going downwards because it's talking about the beginning, which we understand from the darkness. Bam. And the 666 going forward is the golden ratio to elevate. That's going towards the light. As above is below, right? And if we're talking about my sperm, we're talking about my sperm in her womb, we're talking about the emission of light, which is life, right? So from that, you're talking about the triangle that's pointing above, and then the triangle that's pointing down. That's the rod for my penis, and then her vagina, right? Okay. If our basic function is to create light and continue to evolve, and that's our obligated passion. Obligated passion in what is that place called? I'm gonna say it's Stupendity. Lion King 2, or I think it was Lion King 2.5. No, it's Euphoria, Paradise, it's Oasis. Um, if that's our obligation in Paradise, then you have to check the arithmetic and the expression in which those triangles will hold would be to elevate. That's where you get the 666 coil going up and then down, right? That means that light elevates. That means the sun. Bet. Check the science, yo. So check this science. So you got the threes at the top, right? And then you got the threes at the bottom, right? So check this. If you got the threes pointing this way from the bottom, and then you got the threes pointing this way from the top, what do you have? You got an 8. It's hard to show the 8. Ah, I can't bang. No, you got an 8. You got 2 threes like this, and they show an 8, yo. What is an 8? You got a backwards 3 and a frontwards 3. What is an 8? An 8 is the infinity sign. Whoa. An 8 is the infinity sign. Yo, that means we are God is one, and we do make infinite seeds. I don't think you heard me. Infant? I'm done. No, infinite seeds? Said nobody's perfect, but but we're being taught to discriminate against one another, but we are all born perfect in whose eyes? God's eyes. The universe's eyes. You take after whose image? God's image, God's images. The woman and I, me, you look like who? Your mother and your father. And you are infinite. You are an infant. You are a Christian. You are an infant. When you are a baby or a child, they call you what? An infant. An infant. And what do you call what do you call this? This is infinity. Another reinforcement. This is consistency with the scientific knowledge. Evidence is right there to the nymphos and the niggas. And once again, what I'm talking about, the breast milk and sexual education between young people. Infinite. Infinity. Why wouldn't they need to learn about why would they need sexual education? Why wouldn't they need to dabble in sexual content just like everybody else? If this is what they call infancy and they are called infants, and we all came from the same formality. It's like this is so it's so crazily deep. Like you talk about the nymphs. They talking about nymphs like short, fabricated people. We were small, short people that were fabricators. Bam. And then you want to call infants. Then you want to call then the basis and the origins of the word infinite comes from the word infant. And that doesn't line up for people. There's too many scientific consistency to what I'm saying and what these words that are just floating around here for people to just discredit like that. People can be like, oh, research says this. Research says that milk gives you fucking whatever you want to say. The cheese is good for you, but why the fuck ain't nobody got no fucking breast milk cheese and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe in these niggas no more. Like, people graduate to be scientists every year. I trust you. Like, I wouldn't be out here spitting this much bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to have been Jimmy Neutron. You know what I'm saying? Not even lying to you, but it's crazy. You know, I just saw a rabbit. I swear I just saw another rabbit pass me and look just like the Matrix. They changed something in the Matrix. No, I'm saying like straight up though, like real talk. Like they call infants. They named infants after the term of the universe, which is infinity. Actually, what do they call it? They call it the universe. But they say that the universe is infinite. There's no ends of the universe. Like, we ain't got to get there. But and then the left and the right brain, and then it's just, it's infinite energy. And then you got the negative and the positive, and that's Adam, and that's Eve, and we all one. And then the nymphs and the nymphos and the nymphs. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. It's too many consistencies, yo. It's way too many consistencies. And then they try to discredit the niggas and the nymphos and stuff. No. It keeps stacking up on top of each other. You cannot discredit any of this because it's in our language right now. And it's so deeply embedded in it, like the threes and the threes that turn into the eights, into the infants. And then you look at here we go right here though. So look, so so you got the eight, right? That that's an that's a sign of infinity, right? If you got the eight, what is this right here? It's the circle. The circle top is always known for the smaller circle of the eight, right? Sometimes you got they're proportional. not proportional. They're like the same. They're like the same size. I forgot what the word is for that. But usually, sometimes they're the same size. But usually they're proportional. And I think you can still use that word. But usually the top one is usually smaller than the bottom one. So you actually have my head and my torso, my body as an infant that ate these eights. These eights, ah man, these eights, these eights be looking like little babies. Like these eights. Let me put this up right here. So you have eight. So you have a baby head right here, and then a baby's body right there. That also is what lines up with an infant. That is infinity. That has infinity right there. Adam and Eve. You have a plus sign. That is the cross. Yo, I'm telling you, it's crazy. The 8 is also reconfirmation of the word infinity. And the baby actually being in the formation of the letter 8. And then they using it in the term infinity, and the baby's an infant. How you discrediting that? And then they don't put none of this in our information. They're like, oh, prove it. Oh, that could be a coincidence, and this and that and the other. How is that a coincidence? And why is nobody talking about that? That is crazy. That is super crazy. And you got the nymphs, the nymphos, and you definitely ain't talking about the nymphos, because the nymphos was majorly known in Egypt. That's what they call them. They call black women Nubians. They call them nymphos. That was a known word. And then hopped into hip hop and shit like that. And everybody started saying it was a bad word and shit. Talking about they was a narcissistic nympho or something like that. They said something like that. Or narco. No, they didn't call it or narcissistic or something. It was like a hugely sexual word that started with an N. I don't know, but I remember nympho. I don't be knowing about what they be talking about. Cause everybody be fucking these bitches. You know what I'm saying? I be lying, nigga. Can't wait to tell. Straight up. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's really what I wanted to say. And that means this that means that oh, and another backdrop into how I know another backdrop um to the 8 being infinite, and the infinite originates from infant, right? The 666, the one going back down to the darkness, is actually the understanding of the origins in which that baby have came, right? Because now you are without your mother and father, but that that ratio will only go back to the origins of the beginning. That would lead back to your bloodline, all the way back to the darkness, to the origins of the beginning of time. And then you have the 666 going forward, the golden ratio, until you evolutionize. So it's once again, it's a mind, body, spirit, it's a science, sexology, um, spirit, and body or something. Physical. It's 4 of them, like being alive and your body, mind, spirit, and stuff like that. It deals with that. So it's like 4-dimensional, but you're dealing with the rest of your senses. So this is where you get the Kabbalah and stuff like that. So this is more stuff I gotta learn about. But what I'm grow to learn. But what I'm understanding is that before I hop in that information, basically it's multi-dimensional, not like multi-dimensional speaking, figmentedly speaking, is actually just like the physicality of this laptop, and this laptop is like it's 2-dimensional. Like if I close it, it's 1-dimensional. I open it up, then it's 2. You get a 3D book, you open it, it's like a pop-up book, and stuff like that. So this alchemy is actually um, with me saying this alchemy is actually is depicting, like it's describing, like it's not only it's telling me you and the people that's figuring it out that it's like I'm just not a triangle. I'm not just a star. I might just be alive. That's what it's saying, because it's talking about the life force in that golden ratio going forward, because that golden ratio not only tells about the infant as being the golden ratio, but the 666 going forward is also telling about that infant, and the curls on its head is the 666. It's the curls on your head that is going forward. You're like you as when you're born, you have curls on the top of your head. That's dope. It's crazy. But below your feet, you have, you know, what was there before, and you were a fetus in your mother's stomach before, and you were a part of the golden ratio, which symmetrically made you as a fetus. And as a fetus, you are in the same shape as a what? A shell. Dope. That shit crazy. That is where you came from. That's dope. That's super crazy. That is what it is. So it's actually telling, like, that is some real alchemic science that our that 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 I'm like my penis, that our reproductive organs is actually telling us, like, right now. We put them together, you can actually get history. Yo, that's it's trippy. It's real trippy. And but you draw that on the board, you go 666, and it's going backwards. Like, okay, I understand that. So it's going forward too. We're like, okay, I understand that. But that means that swirl is at the top. That means it's not saying the word six. I mean, even if it may say the word six, it's saying something else. I gotta get hip to that too. But it's it's really it's really it's really making the motion of a swirl, like a curl. You know what I'm saying? Like a curl. Of course, it's a curl on your head, but it's also symbolic to your anatomy, your anatomy too. But it's also speaking upon a curl, which the golden ratio does speak upon, and it's swirling upwards, and then because you're laying that drawing on top of it, that means literally if you somehow electrically magnetically put these designs together, that's probably the polarity you're going to get. Is one from the beginning and run when one elevating. So you're probably gonna get a result after that if you can put two and two together and understand it. You know what I'm saying? But that's dope. That's real dope. That's real dope. So appreciate y'all for watching. I hope y'all got what y'all need to get out of this. And I'm about to head back inside. Man, I hope people get what they need out of these videos one day. And I make sure to get through this information faster. I gotta my service notes, they tripping and knocking me off my note rail, but uh, you never know. I appreciate y'all giving me this opportunity to talk and open your minds, like I had to open my mind to actually learn the truth. And this ain't about me, or this ain't about me getting points or nothing like that. All I ever wanted to do since I was a child was to change the world, and I never thought I'll get this far, and I still got a whole a very long way to go. But now part of my duty, since I have obtained this information, since I did take another path distant from others, is that I met people, I met beings, I did my research, and my hunches turned out to be correct, and I accomplished something. This means I accomplished something, and I'm proud of myself. Now it's just the hardest thing I have to do. Is the to be Leviathan, to be a Levite, to be a griot, to be a great man or a great frequency, and somehow help you guys get out of your natural settings. Not your natural settings, to get you guys out of your to this wrong way of living your lives, and get you back to who you guys are supposed to be, and where you're supposed to one day get you back to where you really are in your psyche, uh, here planet Earth to throughout the universe. You just imagine that we're supposed to be butt naked, living amongst each other, and living naturally and being scientifically inclined. You just imagine who we're actually supposed to be, and this is what we have to be dealt with. I ain't tripping on these. I ain't tripping on Coogee or nothing like that. Regular clothes or nothing. But I'm just saying, we're completely different beings, and it's also based on my perception too. People like it this way. I like clothes. I ain't tripping. I got the Nikes on. But I'm just saying, I do know that we're supposed to be more evolved than this, involved and evolved in this. So I'm just trying to help out and spread the word, and put these in the archives for, people that need it to see one day. Of course, I'm gonna edit them so even more people can see them. And I'm just gonna keep trying and trying to use my waves to change the world. And RP, uh, Genova and Jin Jin, Jin Genova, and there's also Celestial that my family names are in the stars, and it really just says the key to my son is running water, and life must go on, and that's exactly what it says. So whether we choose to live and die, we are obligated to move on. Every species of every being, everything in existence will have no other choice but to continue to grow. So once again, there will be a point in time, no matter how long it may take, for one of us to be reincarnated and reunited with our people, whether we remember or not. Some people remember their reincarnations. You never know what we might be able to accomplish and be a part of. If we constantly do the right thing, the universe, God, might give us a second chance to be reinstated, reunited with our family, um, through the awesome power of the universe. You never know, and live an awesome life. Um, even people that are out there doing bad, you know what I'm saying. But I highly recommend that you constantly do the right thing and try to do the right thing, so we can all try to get out this situation and live better lives, because you weren't born for no reason. You weren't chosen by the magneticism of your mother's womb or your father's sperm cavities or whatever you want to say. You're here for a reason, and the universe called you to it, and you are an infant. You are an infinite. Hey, you're an infant. That's clean. You are an infant, and hey, that is kind of clean. You're an infant. Yeah, you're an infant, and you 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 were made to do. You are made to accomplish the impossible. So you know, uh, everybody get your roll on. Feel me?